Okay, so another question here for you about resources. How
Mhm.
do you remain up to date on cybersecurity and cloud technology? Is there like a special like some books or other
Shout out
podcasts
to you.
that
You got
you
great books out there. A lot of times I'm trained, so I'll be checking out your books, your content. There's a ton of videos out there. And the cool things that you got to remember, I'm pre-Google, man. I used to actually have to look at manuals. AWS has their big events as your have, and they go into some advanced detail. They say this is advanced 300, 400. So you can learn stuff out the back where in the old days, you just couldn't learn stuff like that unless you spent $5,000 and went to the Oracle convention or the Microsoft. Now, most of that stuff's online. You just got to roll up your sleeves and get dirty. And I think a lot of people don't want to get that, man. This ain't magic. That's why I took it. This ain't magic. You got to get in there and get dirty. But the cool thing is, as you learn, especially from even the big vendors, there's just so many resources out there. And two is, I lab in AWS. I could do a lab. It might cost me $5 to do a big lab. I got an Oracle database. I got a 3-tier network. I'm failing over from the East Coast to the West Coast in multiple regions. All that might cost you $5, man. So it's much
wow.
easier. In the old days, I had 3 Dell servers in a bedroom
Yeah.
trying to configure stuff. Now you can just spin it up on AWS and you can get as advanced as you want. And a lot of times AWS lets you do it for a year for free. So you can actually change emails. I'm not recommending that, but you can get a new email and do it free for a whole nother year. So there's a lot of ways to learn and get, and there's a lot of people you can reach out to. Shout out to Dewan, us, Struggle Security. There's just so many people out here that'll help you. So
Thank
that's my
you so
shout
much
out.
for that. That's great information. Let me see. It's been my last question, and then we'll go to if you're open to it. I've got a bunch of people asking
Oh
questions
yeah, I'm
on
definitely.
TikTok.
I got you in
Okay.
for an hour and a half. I don't think we need that. I'm single. Don't nobody want me, man. I got time. We can do it. I got time.
Okay. So, what tools and technologies do you recommend for managing compliance activities efficiently?
This is a weird question. Not a weird question, but you're gonna like this. Is I work for small companies. We do all that shit on a spreadsheet. Next thing I know, I'm in Archer and it costs $1 million. So most of the times, most times you can do it on a spreadsheet. Most of your scans gonna come out in spreadsheet form. You get your policies and procedures. The thing I've been working on, and I'll probably reach out to you, is everybody's on teams. A lot of times I'll be using SharePoint. You can actually do approvals for policies and procedures on SharePoint. They actually have Planner that's included. So you can actually set up a small GRC inside Office 365 that your company's already paid for and stop getting out of spreadsheets. So, but 9 times out of 10, I do a lot of stuff on spreadsheets. So, and most companies are doing spreadsheets. And the weird thing is most vendors are looking at spreadsheets. Most of my scans come out in spreadsheets. When I do something in Nexus spreadsheets, looking over compliance scans for STIGs or HIPAA, all that stuff comes out in spreadsheets. I would start out in spreadsheets. Then once you get to Open Pages or Archer, which is the 800-pound gorilla, Security Hub and AWS is their version. So I'm hoping to do more videos about it. But that's kind of it. If you can do it in spreadsheets, it's easier to do. You can do it in anything. So that's why I tell you, if you can do it
Okay.
in spreadsheets. What's
All
your
right.
thoughts on that? I'm gonna throw. What's your thoughts on that? That's what I see. Either I'm
Um,
Archer or I'm in spreadsheet. So I very
tools.
really get middle ground.
You mentioned Archer. That's one that's used quite often in different organizations. There's a bunch of content management. I don't know what they're called, content management systems,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
there's like in the military they'll have like Exact. They have
yeah.
EMAS.
I see EMAS a lot. I use the
Yeah,
EMAS. Yeah, that's the big one. But when I'm
that's
in
the
the
big one.
private sector, I use
Private sector don't use that. I mean, they use
yeah.
Archer. I've seen them
Archer's
use
the big
that
one.
one.
But the weird thing though, I'm working for, especially when you're doing NIST or IRS. Usually you working for a big vendor or a big company. So usually they're gonna have Archer because they got money.
Yeah.
Right, because when you eating that Fed money, that's why I'm fat. You can get good, so they usually
Yes.
got money. So if they doing that Fed work, they usually got money to get
Yeah.
Archer. So either I'm doing Archer or I'm on spreadsheets.
And
So
really,
that's
it
the
all
weird
comes.
part.
I hate spreadsheets, to be honest with you, but
Oh, me too.
everything comes from spreadsheets. Even if you have an
Mhm.
Archer, you're going to create a .csv file that is a spreadsheet. So
Yeah,
everything comes down. And it's funny to me, like some of the companies, they'll spend $1 million on some system and they're like, okay, and I'll use that system. And they're like, look, we want a spreadsheet. I'm like, then why did you buy this system?
I know. I think people just custom to it. What I'm trying to do is least is inside Office 365, the spreadsheet at least comes up inside there. At least it's contained, and we're not emailing spreadsheets around as much. So I try to do that. Shout out
All
to
right.
Larry. We always on there. He's always trying. He's definitely in
Yep, Larry's the one who put me on to you. Okay, I'm going through some of the comments and stuff. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate
oh,
everybody
let me go
watching.
back to that. We'll go back to that one really. That Linux one real quick. Yeah, if you're on Amazon, Linux is really a fork of Red Hat. And two is my favorite operating system is Linux. I think it scales better. Even though when I go to a lot, everybody's running a piece of Windows, but I like Linux. And when you do Amazon Linux, it's a fork of Red Hat. So I think those skills are needed, especially.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Oh, she's with the GRC family. They call it GRC Mafia. They on GCRC.